So we're continuing our unit on rhetoric, which as you now know is the art of effective or persuasive speaking or writing. If you watched the previous video from the University of Maryland, you saw that the rhetorical situation consists of three major aspects. In the video, they referred to it as the writer, but here it's the rhetor, which is the speaker or the author. A purpose, that's what is the speech or text about, and what is the author trying to achieve, and the audience. Who is the speaker or author trying to reach? And all three of these points are situated within a larger environment or context that places limits on what the speaker can achieve or what their audience will be receptive to. In addition, we finally reached the last letter of our SOAPS acronym that we've been using to analyze rhetoric. As a brief review, we began with our first S for the subject of the rhetoric, then moved on to occasion, where is the text taking place and what is the context, followed by audience, who is the intended recipient of the text, and then purpose, what is the goal of the text. Finally, we will look today at the second S, which stands for speaker. The speaker is the voice that tells the story. When reading a text, ask yourself, who is talking? That voice is the speaker. Now, you might believe that the author and the speaker are the same, but that is not always the case. Learning to distinguish the two is something we're going to work on in the next class. In fiction, the author may choose to tell the story from any number of different points of view, or through different methods of narration and characterization. For example, between the author and the speaker, there might be a gender difference or an age difference, or a difference in beliefs or values. How the author chooses to characterize the speaker can tell us a great deal about the author's attitude towards the speaker. This is essential in analyzing the author's purpose for any given text. So, you need to be able to differentiate between the author and the speaker, understanding that what the speaker believes may not be true for the author. For example, in the video you watched from the University of Maryland, the author, the person who created the video, sometimes takes on a persona of a spaced out dude bro who thinks rhetoric is for those trying to pull a fast one, or too callous to speak truthfully from the heart. We can tell the author disagrees with this viewpoint because he exaggerates the mannerisms of the persona he takes on, simply making it silly and easy to make fun of. The speaker in these situations may be the spaced out dude bro, but the author is still the one presenting this characterization. The speaker believes rhetoric is shameful, but the author clearly does not. There is a difference between the two, but note that the speaker is revealed to us through the author's eyes. Even in books where there appears to be an impartial narrator, mimicking the voice of the author, we have to remember that the narrator could be unreliable. This is crucial in nonfiction as well, where it is important not just to identify the author, but also to analyze the author's attitude toward the subject and the audience and the tone of voice that is used in the text. Learning to distinguish between the author and the speaker is key for properly analyzing a text, and we will practice this in our next class. Okay, that brings us to our next class, where we will look at the clues that help reveal the author's attitude towards the speaker. The author's tone provides us with major clues as to the details the author chooses to mention about the speaker. In nonfiction texts, such as newspaper stories, this can help us discover whether there's bias in what's being reported. But in class, we're going to focus on some passages from the book we've been reading together, To Kill a Mockingbird. We will look at these passages and first identify the speaker, then analyze the author's attitude towards the speaker, using the clues that the author leaves for us. And finally, we'll talk about how the author's attitude towards the speaker affects our understanding of the speaker, shaping our impression of him or her. I will see you in next class.